Hello, Year 8, it's Mr. Certain again, and this week we're going to be having a look at a couple of lessons which we're going to leave the environmentalism, life cycle analysis, and other bits and pieces behind. I think we've got some really good knowledge on that one, and hopefully you've learned a lot from looking at those. We're going to have a look at a more of a food focus, and as you can see from the title of the slide here, we're going to be looking at school dinners. What is it that students of your age group are eating around the world? Because you'd think it would be similar, and maybe it is in some ways, but also I think you'd be quite surprised by what actually happens. And I know I was. Not only when they eat it, how they eat it, where they eat it, things like that. Now, different countries have different national dishes. You should obviously understand that. But they also have different diets. On the next slide, there's a range of school dinners taken from different countries from around the world. And these four questions are what I'm going to be asking you to have a look at. You can see the video that we've got there at the link at the bottom. I want you to watch that video, and then I want you to answer these questions. How do they differ from what we have here at Saw Valley College and what we have in the UK generally? So, what you experience at school may not be what you also have at home, because certainly it depends on your cultural backgrounds what you might be eating. So some of these might seem quite familiar. What you have at school may be very, very different from what you experience at home. Do you think they are better or worse than what we have? Now, this is an observation. You can need to justify this. I don't want you to just say, oh, yeah, I think they're better. I want you to tell me why. Maybe it's because you think, oh, well, this particular country has this, and I really fancy the sound of that, or I really like the way in which they do meals in Greece, or Americans seem to have a far more. I like the idea that they have this type of food stuff. We just don't have that in this country. So think about that. Is it different? What's the reasons? Why do you like it? Then, do you think they are more balanced meal or are they worse? So, yes, they may look better, but are they worse than ours? Is it more balanced? And if so, why? And what can we learn from these countries to help us have a more balanced diet here in the UK? Because I think traditionally we have not always had the best food. And I think that we can learn a lot from other countries. Now, if you watch that video, you will see that there's some very different cultures and it goes a bit more in depth. But what I've done is I've included these images of plates of example food. Now, this is example food. I'm not saying that if you went over to the USA, you would be getting chicken dippers or McDonald's things, that type of thing, chicken nuggets, but it's something you possibly would see over there with the tomato sauce. You've got a cookie, you've got like some green vegetables in peas, you've got jelly and some sort of fruit just there, and this is mashed potato, so not too dissimilar from what you might have in this country. But yet if we have a look at, say, Greece, for example, very different. You've got fresh fruit in the form of oranges. You've got yogurt with pomegranate on top of it. And then having a look here, I think this is sort of, I would say, tomatoes and mozzarella with maybe a bit of basil on top. You've got these vine leaves stuffed with kind of seasoned rice. And then you've got more rice as well with nice lean chicken on top. Whereas if you look at Ukraine, you've got the potatoes again, mashed potatoes and sausages. You've got this, which I'm not sure what that is. Maybe people who might be able to tell me what that is, but it could be some sort of soup, it could be some sort of garnish, like a crepe or a pancake, and then a slaw. Italy. I like the look of the Italian one. Nice bit of fish on a bed of salad. You've got another kind of salad type of thing with mayonnaise, grapes, obviously a good bit of pasta, and some nice bread. So are they more balanced? Certainly, I think the fish, having that kind of fish in the diet, I don't know when I've ever seen a fish, like a bit of salmon served in the canteen. Do we ever get that? Probably get pasta. You probably have grapes. We have bread, but do we get that? Is that something that you would see? Is something you'd like to see? So the task one is to answer those four questions, and that's kind of like bare minimum. And as I put here, justify your answers in paragraphs, please. There's some more examples. And then task two, what do they eat around the world? Choose one of the example meals shown on the previous slides and analyze what has gone into them. Annotate a list what each part is, if you can tell, and think about the following. What is the foodstuff? What food group does it belong to? So, for example, with the chicken, it's a meat. You've got the rice underneath, it's a carbohydrate. Is this healthy, balanced? And to help you out, we've got those bog standard kind of things, though you think about how much you should have a larger portion of vegetables and fruits, and then proteins can be the meat, it can be something else. Is it influenced by religion, for example, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim? You're going to get that influence of that country. What do you think? So there's another 4 questions there with justification, and that would be more than enough, I think. But if you really want to push it out and you're enjoying this one and you got your creative juices going, the extension task is to design your own balanced, perfect school meal. Now, this can be as a menu, or it could actually be. So I said to you, you can either draw your ideas, because obviously being, a designer, I always think about drawing them. So you could use something similar. What would be your ideal one? Or maybe just as a list, so you could just write it down what you'd like as your ideal meal. And I'd like it to be as balanced and as healthy as possible. Yes, I'm sure you would like a branch of McDonald's or KFC or, I don't know, Subway in Saw Valley College, but is it balanced enough if those are the school meals that you're going for? So that gives you an idea of those ones. Hopefully it's a nice little fun sort of task, something that's a bit different, and I certainly think you'll enjoy the video about school meals around the world. I know I've always enjoyed it. Well done on that one. Looking forward to see what you make and send to me. I will see you next time, where I think we're going to do a drawing task, but I would go and actually create that drawing task yet. I'll see you then. Have a great one. Take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. Take care.